36. Hello everyone and welcome to Wolff&Schafe podcast. My name is Magdalena and this is my little kitty co-host Domarat. Meow! If you're a new viewer, this is a knitting, spinning and hand dyeing yarn podcast in Adliswil near Zurich in Switzerland. But I'm a Polish girl. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. All my viewers make me happy. And yeah, thanks so much for sharing some of your time with me to chat about crafty stuff. And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry under my full name, which is Magdalena Wolff with double F. And if you enjoy my show, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube, because this way you will be notified about my updates and you won't miss anything. And my show notes are usually in the down bar below here, and helpful links are in the video description here on YouTube. So yay, episode 36. We have October 18th. It's a Tuesday, and yeah, I'm back to normal after my crazy amazing Japan trip, and after a crazy weekend with the Swiss Wolle Festival. I'm getting back to like my regular life, and let's start with the stuff you are all here for, meaning my knitting. So first up, I can show you my progress on my Ardent Shawl by Janina Kallio. I am almost done, you guys. Where is my progress keeper? So I was here last week, so I've made this much, but imagine it's more because every row makes it longer and more stitches. So this is it. Yeah, it's surprisingly small for now, but once I block it, it will be much larger. So I think it will be a really nice shawlette, or even maybe a shawl. And I just love the sections of colors that make stripes. It's really, really nice. And the yarn I'm using is my handspun yarn. I have still this much left, and it's Falkland dyed by Porpoise Fur in her Keridwen colorway. And it's a 2-ply yarn, a bit thinner than fingering. Fingering was my goal, but well, life happens, and I think it's a bit thinner, but still, it's very, very soft because it's Falkland, and I really enjoy working with this shawl also, because I can knit on it while focusing on other stuff like reading, yeah, what did I want to say? As I mentioned before, it's a great pattern for a newbie knitter who doesn't have much confidence yet, and who would like to have a pretty shawl, but on a beginner level. This is really good for that, and very pretty too. So yeah, so I highly recommend this pattern. The pattern is really clear. And what else? My needles are Haya 3.5 millimeters, which makes it US size 4, and these are fixed circular needles as opposed to most of my needles, because I usually just match interchangeable needles with interchangeable cables, but these are fixed and they work beautifully for me. And what else? It lives in my Gorgeous Girls project bag by Yarn Seller Studio. And I'm loving it, and I'm excited that I will be soon finishing this. So, yay! And next up, I have something new to show you, which is, oh, here. Living in My Unicorn Bag by Molly Klein Design. Is a new project from New Yarn that I bought at the festival. And I have just started on it. See, it's small, but I think I should zoom so you could maybe see. So I know that not everyone is a fan of pooling, but I must admit I am. I think it looks beautiful here, how you get those like patches of color, and it's mostly purples, like more vivid purples, brighter purples, together with more muted purples, which is, well, all purple, and I love it because clearly I love purples. And the yarn is, this is CD Spint, blue-faced Leicester silk and cashmere blend in DK weight, and in Winterrosen colorway, which means winter roses, as you can imagine. So yeah, and the pattern is Café au lait Tam by Catherine C. And yeah, I wanted a hat that will match. Oh, I didn't bring it with me, but I have a shawl called Ginkgo, and it's also, I still have to see whether they really match because the shades of purple can differ, but it was like that colorway of that shawl was also inspired by winter roses, and it's a bit similar to this, so I thought I could wear them together. And since my previous beret, I thought I would like something in this shape again. So we will see. It's very soft and silky, and it just feels luxurious. And my ginkgo shawl is like 50% merino, 50% silk, so it's also pretty much luxurious. The pattern is looking really cool. I mean, when it's finished, it looks really cool, but the pattern itself is pretty easy. So if you're looking for a cool hat, I recommend this pattern, and it's a free pattern. Yay! So I will be working on this, and what I'm using for knitting is my these are also fixed needles, and the cable is short, so, and the needles are also short, the shorter type, and the cable is 40 centimeters, which is, I have no idea how many inches, but it's good hat circumference. So I usually knit hats using this, and I have only with this shorter cable I have only this size, which is 4 millimeters, US size 6, I believe, but it somehow works. I usually knit hats from this weight of yarn, so and it's so convenient. I mean, as awesome as Magic Loop is, it still requires this, you know, it requires you to stop, adjust the cable and restart, while with this you just go in rounds endlessly. I mean, you end it when you wish it, but anyway, I'm enjoying my hat. And oh yes, I've been working quite a lot on my Cozy Memories blanket. You will be surprised. Where was I? So, ha ha ha. Last time you saw it, I was here. I was knitting at this square, and I have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares this week. Isn't that amazing? And now I need a tea break because I keep talking and my throat got dry. And the tea I'm drinking is one of the teas I brought from Japan, and it's really nice sencha tea, green tea, of course. So, back to business. I have added here, these 3 squares are all yarn that I bought at the festival, because somehow I felt really inspired by the festival, so I wanted to use the yarn straight away, and I bought these minis with my blanket in mind. So these 3 are all Gabriela Cos yarns, Aventino, in these lovely 4 colorways. So I have started the 3rd row now. Each of my rows has 13 squares. It used to have less, but I decided it's too narrow, so I added some. So this is also Gabriela Cos Aventino. It's very nice and squishy merino yarn. And yes, I had 4 of these, and I still will have enough at least for 1 square of each, because when I was starting my blanket, I decided I will use, if I have still yarn left, I will use it for another square, so it's not like 1 yarn 1 square only, because one of my main purposes here is to use up the beautiful yarns that I have left and can do nothing else with. So my only rule here was that I don't use the same yarn in the next row. So if I use this yarn in the 1st row, I'm not supposed to use it in the 2nd row. But in the 3rd row, it will be okay. So this is the only rule here. And yes, this square might look familiar because it's the same yarn I used for my Mira sweater by Justyna Lorkowska, and it's Malabrigo Makita in Sirena's colorway. This is the yarn that also should look familiar because it was here. I used it for a pair of plain vanilla socks for me, and it's A. Mary Knits Autumn Desert Flowers. Again, sock yarn, it's Cascade Yarns 220 sock in dark plum colorway. In this sparkly lovely square, it's my handspun yarn that I spun from Fellview Fibers Ice Blue Cave, I believe, and it's a blend of all kind of fancy fibers like baby llama and silk and some sparkle Angelina here. So yeah, and it's a single ply yarn, and I think it turned out really beautifully. Maybe I will show you the raw legs. Falling down. Things falling down. crystal ice cave. I'm sorry. So it's Merino, Baby Llama and Angelina blend. And they look like this. So you can see that some sections are lighter blue and some are this cool dark blue. And I still have quite a lot of them left. I will have to figure out what to do with them. But in due time. And the last one is again the one that I had somewhere here. It's one of the reasons, because I'm in row 3, I could use same yarns. I mean, I already had yarns I could add to the blanket, and I did do that. And I still think it looks amazing together. It's so colorful. So this yarn, I can't believe I still have some left, because I made like 2 projects with it and these squares, and I still have some left. And it's Lang Yarns Bebe color, and it's a fingering weight merino yarn in these nice pastel colorways. So in the past I knitted when I was still like learning more advanced knitting than scarves. I knitted a pair of baby shoes for my unborn yet son, and then a hat. I held the yarn double and I knitted a hat for my friend's baby. And yeah, I still have some left. It's like, it's never ending. And I don't have my needles here, but I'm knitting on 3mm needles, and they are Knit Pro Zings. But I'm thinking about buying or using something else. I mean, same size of course, but the Zings, they are just too blunt for me, and I feel like it's slowing me down, and then it's making me less happy with what I'm doing. So maybe I will treat myself to a new set of DPNs. Yeah, or maybe just circulars. I will see. I'll see. So this is it for knitting, and as for spinning, ta-da, I have more. So I've been working on this lovely braid, which is again turquoise fur, and it's Shetland wool in Delta colorway, and I love it. I'm just enchanted by this colorway. So I finished the dark blue, the navy blue part, and as you can see, I am in the turquoise section. I still have some like to process, but it's slowly going, and I'm enjoying it. So yay! Maybe I should zoom a bit so you can see. Okay, right. So yeah, so my hopes are that this will make, I will Navajo ply it to keep the color sections, because I don't want them to get all jumbled up. And I'm hoping that it would make nice fingering or sport weight yarn. I think it should. Maybe DK. I'm still not good at like, I can't really tell what the weight of the yarn will be. I have just my hopes, and we will see how it goes. So for spinning, this is it. as I mentioned last episode, these days I'm more into spinning on my wheel, but just recently I had some like I felt something nudging me that maybe I could spin something on a spindle again, and I have to figure out what I would like to spin on, because clearly I do have fibers to work on, so no worries there. I just have to be inspired. So spinning was that, and now finally we have again the dyeing segment. So I have dyed 2 new colorways, and they are both inspired by Christmas. So I think I will be releasing them after Halloween, because I don't want... Well, I have my Halloween / All Saints Day colorway, which is this one. And it's called All Saints Day. And it's now in my shop in the DK weight on Lycos DK base. So yeah, so I thought in November I will release them to my shop. I can show them to you now. And I love them both. This one I called Silent Night. I will zoom so you can see it's a combination of navy blue and some yellows. And then I have Vigilia, and all Polish viewers will know what I mean. So it's our name for Christmas Eve, and it means it's used for naming the night before something, like Eve, but it means waiting, expecting. Like, you know, you have the verb, not the verb, adverb, vigilant. So this is it, and it's so it's deep purples with again some navy blues and some dark speckles and some spot of pale color or just white. So about this one, what can I say? It's my image of Christmas night. It's is this. Meaning it's a celebration of like the new light being born. So the light is this warm yellow, and I always associate Christmas with candles, and this is the night. It's just this dark sky. And what's important here, we in Poland we celebrate the Christmas Eve more than we celebrate Christmas Day. Let's say, like the main day of celebration is December 24th. So this now, what's it about? Of course, we start our Christmas Eve feast after the first star arrives. So since it's December, it's around 4 or 5 p.m. The custom says you're supposed to wait until the first star arrives. and usually children are like at the windows looking and whether they can spot the first one, and then they announce it. So again, this is the dark December sky. About dark purples, well, we have a set of special dishes that we, well, usually we eat them only once per year. So it's, well, this one we also sometimes, but anyway, you say Vigilia and I think Barszcz, and it means red beetroot soup with some spices. And again, these speckles, they symbolize poppy seed, because we also eat a lot of food with poppy seed. We don't eat any meat on Christmas Eve, so there are many dishes with mushrooms and cabbage and fish, a lot of fish. What else? These pale spots symbolize this white wafer we share before we start eating. We all like break the wafer between ourselves, wishing everything best for the upcoming year. And again, the warm light of the candles on the table. So this is what comes to mind when I say Christmas Eve. And it's yeah, you can tell from my face that it has a lot of warm memories and thoughts there. What I could add here, if you're interested, why all this food, it's not why this food is such like poppy and mushrooms and all these, it's not only because we don't eat meat. I believe it's because like the celebration itself the celebration itself was before Christianity reached us in the 10th century, and it was just another celebration of our ancestors. I know I talked about it, about All Saints' Day, but it's just another relic of the pre-Christian beliefs. And it is basically, you eat that kind of food when you want to, when you want your ancestors to share the meal with you. And there is this custom that most of Polish houses observe, that at the Christmas Eve table there should be one empty plate. And nowadays we all say it's for some, I don't know, pilgrim or whoever, a guest who comes, who we did not expect, but we welcome them. But let's be honest, it never happens. I think it's, and I'm not alone in that opinion, it's a custom for leaving the plate and the food for our ancestor to visit us and to be together with us on that very special night. So yeah, Christmas is very special for many nations, I would say, but I think every country has it differently. There's something special about it, and yeah, and we often associate it with home and family. Oh, I talked a lot. So these are my 2 new colorways, and they will be available in November. So I think this is it for my crafty stuff this week. About what I'm doing except for crafting. Recently I've been reading comic books, and I'm not the only one, because Katie from Inside Number 23 got really into comic books recently. Hi Katie! So as you know, I'm a great Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, and when the TV show ended at season 7, it got continued as a comic book series. I know it sounds crazy, but they did it, and I used to think I will never read these comic books because, first of all, it's just not the same. You don't get to watch the actors act, and you don't hear their voices. There's no music. It's just so much different a medium. And second of all, I would have to order a lot of books from abroad, and that would be pretty pricey. But then I realized I do want to know what happens later, and that I can buy an electronic version from the publishing house's page. Yay! And yeah, that's what I did. And so I've been binge reading the season 8, 9 and 10, and I just finished today. And it was fun. There were some things I didn't like about it. There were some things I loved about it. I missed the actors. I won't lie to you, but that's how it is. Well, with the comic book, you don't have to worry that this actress has some other obligations and cannot star in your episode or something. And also unlimited budget, because you just can insert anything you want to the episode and don't worry about the price of special effects. So that's what they did. They did use that. What I loved, and I always loved, that the sense of humor, this special sense of humor, was kept. And for those moments, I think it's worth reading. And that's what I've been doing recently. So yeah, I just think when I was explaining all the Christmas Eve stuff, I cannot talk. Like, all my thoughts are not in order, because I want to tell you so much and not to bore you to death. So yeah, again, about the food, I don't think I was clear on that. According to studies in other cultures, it's similar. So there are kinds of food for centuries believed to be the food suitable for the dead. And it includes, for example, all things red. And for example, I would say that is the red beetroot soup, and poppy as medium that can, you know what it can do, but it also brings you sleep, and it can bring you visions if you prepare it properly. And about mushrooms, well, you know, there are kinds of mushroom that can also like connect you to another world. So yeah, I strongly believe there are many customs that are just got adapted by Christianity, and we still observe them, not really knowing what they are about, but it doesn't make them not delicious. So yeah, that's my little custom mythological corner for you there. And I will finish at that. If you have any questions to me, by the way, you can hop on our Ravelry group. There's Wolff&Schafe podcast Ravelry group, and there's thread called Ask the Wolf, and you can ask me basically anything in frames of reason, of course, about my crafty life, about me, about Poland if you're interested, and then I can answer on the show. So yay! Where is my kitty? Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for watching and happy knitting, and we will see you next time. Yeah!